There is one thing that we could probably touch upon really quickly. 88 Merriam Road.
Merriam Street.
Merriam Street, I'm sorry.
That's right. It's Newton Street too, by the way. Who knows? It's arcane.
It's Warren Road as well.
Oh, yeah, it's not Loring Street, it's Loring Road. But it is Montvale Road. All right, but go ahead.
There was, when I came into this position, there was a pending outstanding issue on the driveway width of 88 Merriam Street. And the board actually voted it in May, on the May 20th meeting, but the decision never got formally filed. So additionally, Mr. Rogers has contacted Kim about the removal of a tree that apparently was in question on the site. And so anyhow, apparently there's an arborist letter regarding this tree, and so he would like permission to remove it. So what I would suggest is getting some insight from Kim when she's settled in a little bit, and also to reaffirm the board's May 20th decision. And so he can basically move on. My understanding is that he may have a purchase and sale, so.
All right, Kim, are you settled in yet?
Yeah.
All right, have you seen the tree?
Yeah, this is the tree that we talked about a lot. Do you remember that one mature, I think it's an oak, that was in the middle of the forest that we kind of reconfigured the development to try to save?
Yeah, what's the problem with it?
It's rotted in the middle. They have a letter that their arborist went and did some probing, and he's saying that it's not gonna last.
So it's an oak?
Don't quote me on that. It's in the letter.
Okay.
It's a hardwood of some sort.
But have you seen it?
Not since, our last site walk.
Yeah.
I have a hard time going against the opinion of a professional arborist, especially if it's potentially dangerous to a person or a structure.
Yeah.
So this would be a change of our site plan approval to remove the oak that we were trying to save, or the tree that we were trying to save?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, do we want to just, I have the plan.
Yeah, I can point it out pretty easily in the plan.
Doesn't sound like it if we configured the driveway around it to save it. It's sort of surprising that the landscape architect that did the design on the project wouldn't have picked up on that.
There were a lot of other trees around it because it was pretty heavily forested. It's
Yeah,
this
that
one right
guy.
here.
That's a big guy.
It was really big, yeah. It might be called out. It's not called out as to what it is on here. It was a 36-inch.
Yeah. So it's got to be 150. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
an oak.
Does
it say?
It doesn't say.
Yeah. If it's an oak, it's got to be 150 years
Yeah.
old anyway.
Well, do you remember there were the two of them that
Yeah.
we really pinpointed on the sidewalk? Because it was very forested, it was all kind of new growth, and then there were these two kind of big
Yeah. And it was important because it helped
scale.
soften the building
Right.
from the street.
Well, not so much from the street, because remember this was pretty.
I know, they were going to plant it.
Well, and there's a lot of existing, but it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
known stuff. This was kind of a
Higher canopy,
canopy.
yeah.
So do we want to require
I
a
would-
deciduous tree there?
Why don't we, can we hire our own arborist to verify verify the diagnosis? I hate to just cut it down without looking at it, at least. because it was so important in the
Right.
whole
It
scheme of
was,
things.
right?
I would second that.
Question for you, Kim. You know, you got the letter,
I did.
you know, and.
It was a really thorough letter. I don't know if you have a copy of it.
I didn't get a copy.
Oh, I had forwarded it to everybody last week.
Who's everybody?
Well, Al, Betsy, and Ernie.
Right, I saw the letter, but I didn't see the tree.
You didn't see the,
I mean, it referenced a tree, but I didn't know which one.
oh, okay, yeah, it's this one here.
Yeah,
But you got the letter.
I got the letter.
Okay, so Betsy, you've got to have it. It was exactly a week ago.
But there's no doubt about which tree they were talking about. It's like
No.
you're very confident about that.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with the arborist at all?
yeah. I didn't recognize.
But it did seem like it was very thorough.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just like a second opinion before we just cut it down. It's, you know, because it was so important in the
Right.
scheme of things.
And it's the contractor's arborist.
Yeah.
There's a conflict of interest.
Right, exactly.
If it is cut down, what would you recommend we replace it with?
I would love to see another hardwood, whether it's a maple or, another oak
And
or,
what size?
um,
How big can you do it? I mean, obviously you're not gonna replace it with a 36-inch.
no, I mean, usually what we see in cases like this is like somewhere between 3 and 4 inch caliber.
Really, you think anything bigger would not survive, or what?
I mean, it would survive if the
6
right
or 7 inch
person.
caliber?
It's huge.
Really, really, really
25
big
footer?
tree.
3 to 4 inches is like 14 feet.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
gotta be a
it's-
peewee.
It's for the future. you know.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not for now.
I understand. But it's got a whole different role at 14 feet than the one that was there.
What's the largest hardwood that we think that could be practically?
I mean, I've
Great
seen
spread.
5 to 6 inch caliber
Yeah.
trees going, but they're very expensive trees. And then, there's more, I mean, I tend to plant them a little bit smaller so they have a chance to acclimate to the environment.
Yeah. It would be better if we got something on the order of 16 to 18 feet high.
So maybe a 4 inch.
4 to
4 and a
5.
half.
Yeah. But I think that would be the plan. I totally agree, David, that if this has to go, we need to stipulate what replaces it. And if it's a 5-inch caliper tree, it might be, if the decision is keep this tree or just cut it down and replace it with nothing, it's a different kind of decision than cut this tree down and replace it with a 5-inch caliper
Right.
hardwood.
Or would it be possible to replace it with 2 trees staggered apart enough? That would help.
I mean, I think
with
the
that
point was
visual-
to try to give some scale to
Scale
that
to the house. It was really not a screen tree, it was a.
There's another
scaler.
one on the site, on the other side of the house. It's
Yeah.
a little bit smaller,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was also helping the cause.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this whole site plan generated a lot of neighborhood interest,
It did.
a lot of neighborhood interest. And went through like 3 or 4 sessions.
Yep.
So I don't want to just blindly say cut it down and walk away from it before we touch a few bases first. That's my feeling. What do you guys think?
No, I think it's right.
I agree. Just to be safe.
Do you
I
want-
have the email, I don't
Okay.
have the attachment.
All right, let me find it here.
And do you have an arborist that you recommend?
I
Or
can.
do we have one that
I
we
don't
use all the time?
DPW uses an arborist at Stumpy's.
Oh, really?
Stumpy's, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. If we have a couple of names, then if we need to call in one at another time, we have several people that we could contact. So Kim, if you could
Sure.
pass along a name, and then we can
Mhm.
also have the DPW's guy there as well, and then decide who to do it and take it from there. The second part of this was ratifying our decision
Yes.
from May?
Yes. The board basically at the May 20th meeting voted to approve, to vote on a decision that would allow the driveway opening to change a little bit, the sidewalk, slight relocation, and then the guide wires, or guide wire changes. So, and the existing sidewalk was to remain in place until the utility pole was removed.
Right.
So, the decision was written out, but then it just never got totally confirmed. So, I guess I'd ask that you confirm the vote that you took on May 20th.
Who voted?
Roy Chattelbash made the motion. David provided a second and all voted in favor.
All right. So, would someone like to move that we confirm the vote that we took on May the 20th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.